Oh, Canada! We are back on the ice. Canadian teams have finally taken their claim in playoff action, as after last season, we had no Canadian teams making the playoffs for the first time since 1970. This season, we had five. The Montreal Canadiens, Toronto Maple Leafs, Ottawa Senators, Edmonton Oilers, and Calgary Flames all put on a great show for their fans last spring. It was a big surprise for many people, especially in Toronto, who didn't believe that coming off of this draft and drafting Auston Matthews, that things would click so seamlessly. Well, after Matthews impressed all with a 40-goal campaign to begin his career, and Mitch Marner and William Nylander followed suit with such incredible production, the Maple Leafs went toe-to-toe with the Washington Capitals, the President's Trophy winners of the NHL, taking them to 6 games and barely losing in an overtime period. The Calgary Flames gave all they had against Anaheim and will definitely be back in the playoff picture next year with Johnny Gaudreau and Sean Monahan at the head of the charge. Connor McDavid and the Oilers were probably the most impressive outside of the Ottawa Senators, who went all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. McDavid and the Oilers took on a very tough Western Conference opponent in the San Jose Sharks, who had cracked the Western Conference Final a year prior and who have a lot of aging players in Joe Thornton, Patrick Marleau, who knew that their time was winding down. The Oilers defeated them and then took on a pesky Ducks team in which they lost in a heartbreaking 7-game series. Montreal Canadiens somewhat disappointed, I think, as after claiming the top seed in the division, they were bounced in the first round in just 6 games. As for the Vancouver Canucks and the Winnipeg Jets, their times will come. They definitely have a good future in front of them, as in Vancouver, moving away from the Daniel and Henrik Sedin era and bringing in young talent such as Bo Horvat and Olli Juolevi on the blue line. Vancouver absolutely has a chance to do damage in the future. As for Winnipeg, they weren't lucky enough to claim the top prize in Auston Matthews, but they will settle for Patrick Laine, probably the best consolation draft pick since Evgeny Malkin in 2004, who came after Alexander Ovechkin. Winnipeg and Vancouver will be on the rise, but for now, we really get to enjoy teams like Toronto and Edmonton as they climb back into the playoff picture and hopefully back into Stanley Cup championship contention. With this Centennial Sports Television update, I'm Matt Teague.